Hello, welcome back to the Stationary Dev. Today we have another currently inked video. This will be my currently inked pens for January 2023. So a new year, and we have at least a new pen that will already have inked up. As always, my currently inked, I'll be writing it in some Tomoe River paper. This is the old stock Tomoe River paper, and this is the 68 GSM. So we will get that prepped here and get going. All right, so here we go. Got a couple cotton swabs we're gonna use. Got some place to put them. And we got our inks. So, first pen up for this currently inked is actually a carryover from last month, and that is the Sailor 1911 Large Wicked Witch of the West. And last month I had I had a vacuum filler inked, I had a piston filler inked, and then I had two other pens inked, and I actually wrote less than I thought I was, or than I usually do last month. So I didn't get through all of my ink in my pens. So this one's carried over, which I'm totally fine with. I love this pen. And so that'll be the one that we start off with today. Beautiful pen, beautiful nib, wet writer. It'll be a good one to kick off our January 2023 video. So we have currently inked for January. All right, and our first pen here is the Sailor 1911 Large. And I'm just going to put Wicked Witch. It's a 21 karat gold, ruthenium plated medium nib. So it's a Japanese medium, and it is on the wet side. So let's see how I do. Here we go. We'll do a little scribble. And we have the Sailor Jentle Epinard in this one, which is a great ink. I love this ink. And smear test, as you can see, it is ridiculously wet. I'm actually going to try to get a little closer down for you so you can see. And let's do our swatch. So this is the old Jentle discontinued inks. Comes in these squat bottles here, 50 milliliters. Super affordable. This one you'll see has some nice sheen to it as well. Shame that they discontinued them again, and I think it's for the final time this time. But luckily I did snatch up quite a few while they were still available. But you can see how far that only comes up to on the cotton swab, which is, I don't like the bottles, but I love the inks. So super saturated, but has some great sheen. Super wet ink as well. It makes this already wet nib just gush. Feels good. All right, so I'm gonna put that there. And put our ink up so I don't make any more messes, and we'll wait for that one to dry so we can see it. And that is pen number 1. All right, pen number 2 is actually one that I ordered all the way back on Fountain Pen Day, and it didn't get here until late December. And that is this Gravitas. You can kind of see it better there. Gravitas, and this is the white Delrin fountain pen. It's based off their Century model, and it's the really unique plastic called Delrin, very durable, and this is an amazing pen. Feels great, like I said, writes amazingly, no complaints. The weight of it just feels so good when you're writing with it. All right, we have the Gravitas white Delrin. And this is just a steel extra fine Yovo nib. The ink we have in here is also another fountain pen day purchase, but I think it goes with the sort of wintry look here, and it is Akkerman Delfts Blauw. I've been impressed with this ink as well. It's one I've been wanting for a long time and just never could force myself to pull the trigger on it. But it's a good one. You can see that's pretty wet for just a extra fine steel nib pen. I don't think the ink is, exceptionally wet or anything, but it works great. I think it's just a good nib, good feed, good pen combo there. Absolutely super smooth for an extra fine. Writes amazing. Like I said, I can't go on enough about that. I have videos on all of these pens, or will have videos on these pens out. So if you're interested in more detail on one of them or more of them, check out the reviews as well on the channel. The Akkerman ink bottles come in these beautiful shaped ink bottles with the marble at the top. Put some ink in there, and Akkerman Den Haag. Oh, they rich them down. And we have our beautiful ink in there. I'm going to get enough on my... Well, I said I was. Gonna get enough on this. Do a swab. It's just a nice unsaturated blue, but somehow it's unsaturated, but it's bright enough to pop off of the page. So it's a really interesting ink, and I am all about it, all day. Nothing super special. It'll shade pretty good if you have it in like a wetter, I guess, broader nib than this. But just it's been great so far. I've loved that ink. And the combo, the ink nib combo, just works. All right, we're halfway through. So our next pen that we have inked for January 2023 is this beauty, the Sailor. And this is my first fountain pen purchase of 2023. Used it, bought it directly from Japan to get a good price on it. Got it for more than 50% off the retail price that it is in the United States. And used some Christmas money and picked up this thing. I couldn't resist. It's beautiful. I don't have a regular Pro Gear in my collection, so this is the Sailor Pro Gear Imperial Black Edition. So it's all blacked out, matte finish, just beautiful fountain pen. It does have their new branding on it, so you can see that new logo on it, and you'll see the new nib here. There you can see new nib there. They took the 1911 off and put that new logo on and everything. Also, I didn't show the nibs on the other two, so just so you can compare, here's the old nib, also ruthenium plated, so it's an apples to apples comparison here. You see the 1911, all the... Yeah, I kind of like the old ones better. And then the Gravitas is not too special, but it is just a steel Yovo nib with the Gravitas logo on there. Looks great. Amazing section. Nothing to complain about. All right, back to where we were. This is the Imperial Black Pro Gear fountain pen with the new nib. This one has a fine nib. So we have the Sailor. Try to get this. Pro Gear Imperial with the 21 karat gold fine nib. And this nib is spectacular. I like that medium nib, but I'm a extra fine nib guy, and this one is just perfect. It's up there with the platinum nibs for me in terms of my preference of nib. The ink inside, I couldn't resist putting a black ink in this blacked out pen. Just had to. And it's Sailor Black. Technically Jentle Black, but it's just their basic black ink. Just a really good ink, really wet ink. Makes this nib just glide. And you'll see the Sailors for me are pretty wet. That's pretty good for this fine of a nib. I have the old bottle of this, although they have new bottles of it now that are a lot more practical, but this is back when they came in the Jentle squat bottles here, so I got another one of these to enjoy. Shall I use it out? And we're gonna reuse a cotton swab because I'm running out. Need to stop doing ink reviews. All right. Super wet ink, super reliable. If you need just a good everyday black ink that's cost effective, dark enough, it's not, you know, gonna dry to gray or anything like that. It's gonna be super wet, super reliable. Get you a bottle of Sailor Black. It'll make any pen write great. All right. Almost done. We are on to our last pen of January 2023. And that pen is none other than the Lamy 2000. Just one of the best pens ever made. Probably close up there to like the ideal, like probably like up there with to be considered for like my perfect fountain pen. Nothing wrong with the Lamy 2000. Beautiful pen. You can see a little spoiler to the ink there in the ink window. But we have the Lamy 2000. And it is a 14 karat gold platinum coated medium nib is this one. It is, as you will see, this is the smoothest nib in my collection. It is just glassy, buttery, smooth. And it is also, happens to be a gusher. So come over here. And the ink that I have in here is a sample of ink that I got on Fountain Pen Day from Van Ness. And it is KWZ Grapefruit. I'm looking for a good orange, and this one is in the running. It's looking great. It's impressed me so far. And we might have to go, woo! Yeah, that's wet. All right. Lamy 2000 is just a great pen. If you don't have one and can afford one, just get one. I'm considering getting another one and an extra fine, so if that tells you how much I like this pen. It's a stunner. Review coming out soon. And the ink, like I said, I just got a sample of it here. I got a 4 milliliter sample. The Lamy drank about a milliliter of it, so I got about 3 milliliters of it left here. We'll use some to do our swatch. Get my hands all inky because I'm trying to reuse cotton swabs. So we buy some more. This for me is it's definitely a reddish orange. It's pretty bright, but not too bright. It's a very readable orange, and it's very flat. It doesn't have a ton of shading. It's just a flat, wet, readable, reddish orange, and I'm here for it. I like it so far. We'll have to see with some more writing in the Lamy, but so far so good on the KWZ Grapefruit. Like I said, I bought mine from Van Ness, so it's a 4 milliliter sample up there. And we're going to work on using it up. because I'm not one to leave samples laying around. I try to use up as much cluttery stuff as I can. So there we have our pens and inks for January 2023 now. Wow. Let's look at some of them. The Sailor and the Grapefruit are still drying, but we have the... Let me try to adjust the light a little bit so you can see that sheen coming through on the Epinard. Epinard stands for spinach, or it means spinach. But you can see it's a lovely sort of dark, very sort of almost businessy, sort of green, very readable, but it also has that bronzy red sheen in it that comes out. And it's also in the writing as well, but you can't see it as well in the light. Then the amazing Delfts Blauw there has some nice shading, just a beautiful color. Like I said, it's unsaturated. It's weird. It's unsaturated, but it pops off the page. It has that sort of wow factor to it for me, for a blue ink. We have the Sailor that's still drying a little bit, but coming along. I mean, it was a lot of ink, so it usually dries pretty quick. So another Pro Gear Imperial Black in the fine with Sailor Black. Very nice combo. I'm going to have fun with that. And last but not least, the Lamy 2000. You can see it does, I guess it does shade a little bit, that Grapefruit. Does just a hint of shading, but mostly flat, very saturated, reddish orange. And the Lamy just is amazing. It's kind of almost got like kind of a stubby feel to it, but it's not a stub. It's definitely still medium-y. I guess maybe it's more of like a architect, I can't tell, but very wet. And there's the Grapefruit swatch, still dry and wet, but no sheen or anything is going to happen on it. Just a nice color. So there we go. I think that's a good setup for this month. As always, if you have any questions about any of the pens or the inks here, please leave me a comment, let me know. Also, leave me a comment, let me know what you're writing with this month, what inks you got going on, what pen you're writing with, and let me know your favorite combo for this month. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, you can like and subscribe. It's an easy, free, quick, easy way to, doesn't cost you any time or money to do any of those things, but it also helps out the channel and lets you know when I come out with new content, which is every week. So until next time, I'll catch you later.